Okay, thank you everyone for coming back and actually listening to the second part. We're going to be talking here at the Hero C podcast about characters. We actually had a lot to talk about this time. We've got two in particular, small screen characters that have jumped and leapt literally out of the comics. DC Comics, that is.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think we'll start our discussion. Keep in mind, we're going to be talking comics versus small screen. Okay, that's our purview. The Flash on CW. What do you think? Rome, would you like to start that one?
Yeah, shoot, yeah. I'm up to date on them, I think, except for this latest show, which is showing tonight, or showed last night. I haven't watched this week's episode. Wow. I will just say, wow. And I am not a Flash comic reader. I have never read a Flash comic. The only exposure to Flash that I know is in the Justice League TV shows, in the Justice League comics, wherever he showed up in the other, Batman or Superman comics. I read about him. I know basically his history, but that's it. I've never read a Flash comic or a series. Oh my goodness, this show is really good.
Yeah.
I don't know how much they keep on his actual history with everything that's going on, and I'm not going to give any spoilers because I'm a spoiler-free guy. No spoilers.
No spoilers.
But the character that they have playing Barry Allen, young man, looks very young. I think they might have wanted to get somebody a bit older, but he's very good at playing Barry Allen. He's got that wit going on. The effects of the show, 10 times better than the show in the 80s with
Wesley Allen Shipp.
That guy. Who is in the show, by the way?
As his father.
Yes. And he's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scruffy and all. Jailbound.
I like how the show is going.
Yeah.
And you know what? I've recently picked up Arrow and started watching it again. And I have to say, I like Flash more than I do Arrow. I like Flash more than I do Gotham.
Oh, yes. I agree.
Right now, I think Flash is probably my favorite DC thing going on right now.
Yeah. I have to agree. In fact, I was looking forward to the whole previews of where they show the cage of Gorilla Grodd.
Yes.
And I love
in the
for pilot episode.
Yes.
And I love the fact that they actually stick to the origin of the first comic with the Barry Allen in the modern day Flash, with him having super senses when he's like after the accident, and he like picks up the drinks in the cafe. He notices that, then he rushes off, and tries to.
He starts running and can't stop and lands in a pillow truck.
It's a linen truck. Boom! Everywhere. It was amazing. But it was right down to even to the counter spinning of the cyclone to take out the tornado. That was used right in the first comic book. So they stayed true to the fans, and I think they just didn't have a bunch of flashy outfits for the villains,
That is something that I'm kind of and this isn't a spoiler. It tells you in the trailers that, the explosion that causes his accident causes other metahumans to become meta.
Yeah.
I think they're following that model of Smallville on that. Again,
it's a whole DC idea from the 80s where what their version of mutants is metahumans.
Yeah, and Smallville, the Krypton crash of the meteor caused all these people to have these powers. And I think they're kind of doing that with Flash. And I think they've got so much more they could work with if they did not limit it to the explosion of Star Labs.
Yeah.
So I think they may be not pushing the limits with their ideas.
Well,
but I do like
that
the villains that they're using so far are not using the cheesy,
there you go.
Like Captain Cold isn't in that bright
Parka.
blue and white parka. You know, he is in a black heavy coat with a dark persona. Yeah. So, you know, I do like that they're not being cheesy about it. Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. But just so I'm going to give a couple of things that I have found out. And that happens to be some possibilities with the additional supporting characters.
I said I wasn't going to give spoilers. I didn't say you couldn't.
Well, that's me. I'm spoiled anyway. That's a whole other story. We've got additional possible story ideas coming up in the Flash universe with the young lady at Star Labs, Panabaker. You know, she plays the scientist who actually lost her fiance in the accident. Well, her character is actually the same character that they used in the comic book of Killer Frost. Ooh. And her boyfriend her fiance that was killed was Ronnie Raymond, who is Firestorm. Who another scientist, Professor Raymond, they merged together in that atomic nuclear accident to become Firestorm. So they're hinting that's a possibility of something down the road.
One of the things that you were surprised at on the pilot was the young man in Star Labs.
Yes.
I've not read the comics, so I don't know.
That character actually becomes Vibe in the 1980s series of Justice League.
Okay.
He was a scientist from Star Labs who gains through an accident and their vibrational powers to actually rock a lot like Richter of X-Force at that time. But he has this whole breakdancing routine and everything. I'm just hoping they don't bring that into it.
I don't think they're going to bring that aspect into it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think they could. I mean, they're probably hinting at this character being a meta.
Yeah, so I think that's what we're going to see for the next little bit. Unlike Constantine. Give me a pro, and then give me a con.
Me give you a pro, and you'll give me a con?
No, you give me one of each.
Oh, pro. He's blonde and British.
Okay, character fits.
Yep.
Character fits.
Con. Where's his freaking cigarettes?
Doesn't smoke, unlike the character.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the big things about the character. He's a chain smoker.
Yes. He was supposed to be dying from lung cancer, and that's why he's been trying to be taken down into the bowels of the underworld by many an evil foe, because they know he's going to die.
Well, there's my pro and con. What's your pro and con?
Pro, I like the fact that they left the cabbie Chance stay with the character, as his only ride and friend. Unfortunately, he hasn't been killed yet, but he died, and then he comes back. So I'm not sure, hinting what the angelic nature of that character is based on compared to the movie.
Is it Chance or Chaz?
His name is Chance. He calls him Chaz.
Okay.
Yeah, the character's name is Chance, as in Last Chance.
Aha.
From the comic book, the Hellblazer comics. Okay, con. I don't like the scrying map where it's Blood of the Week to find the monster of the week.
Yeah.
To go traversing across and, guess what? We have nothing to do this week.
That's too supernatural for me. And I do mean supernatural, the show.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I want this show to be supernatural, but I don't want it to be supernatural, but it's got to be supernatural.
Is that natural?
No, it's supernatural.
Supernatural!
I just gave myself a headache.
I thought he was promoting some type of, hair conditioning. It's supernatural. Full volume.
No, like you said, the monster of the week.
Yeah.
I feel that the scrying on the map is pulling from the Supernatural TV show with the Winchester brothers, which is a great show of its own.
But that's what that's for.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. I think they have plenty to work with without him having to scry to find trouble. I mean, and I've not read the comics. I've tried, but haven't done it successfully.
Right on board.
If I'm not mistaken, in the comics, he finds trouble. Trouble finds him.
Yeah. whether it's Swamp Man Thing or whether it's Dr. Fate.
What's that? Yeah, I talked to a few people online, and they're all like, yeah, that was Dr. Fate's helmet. That wasn't a hint. That was a blatant, this is Dr. Fate's helmet.
Yeah. So everyone who puts on the helmet gets to talk to Naboo, the god of order.
Naboo?
So, Naboo. Not the planet in the water planet with Jar Jar Binks.
Misa Basata?
Everyone, I do apologize for that sudden outburst of a Gungan.
Why so you apologize? Okay, I'll stop now.
Thank you. And I think on that note, we'll take a break.
See you later.
Misa's so sorry.
Racist.